Hey everyone, I'm John Grimsmo and this is Knife Making Tuesday. So today I'm trying to make some copper inlays for one of my knives, and it's kind of driving me nuts. So I have a piece of copper here, super glued to my inlay fixture, and I've already broken 2 end mills trying to machine it. I've never ever machined copper before, and it's proving to be very tricky, so I just did a bunch of Googling and learned a couple things. I was using a 4 flute coated end mill, you know, kind of like this guy, but a 1/8 inch square, and broke them twice. Apparently a 2 flute uncoated is the way to go, because copper, somebody said copper is like machining bubblegum. It just sticks to everything. So, and I didn't use flood coolant, whereas now I'm going to turn on the flood coolant and flood it. So everything I can do to try to keep the chips from sticking to that end mill, hopefully it's going to help. And I'm just doing very shallow cuts, and we'll see. Hopefully the coolant doesn't affect the super glue holding power. Not really doing any cutting yet. Now it's cutting. Sounds pretty good. Well, so that was a huge improvement over the last pass. So we'll see if this holds up and works properly. Okay, while that's running, Mr. Beardsley here is going to show us what he's doing. Okay, what are you doing?
I'm taking the pivot pins that we get from Alpha Knife Supply, right?
Yep.
They come with a black screw, and I don't like it black.
So this is our Scotch-Brite wheel. Not so black anymore. Mill's still running those copper parts. And then what's going on here?
Leather strop on the grinder.
Wow. Pretty shiny.
Yeah.
Nice. Just doing the same thing to the pivots here. I can actually see your fingerprint more than I can see the milling marks.
Yeah.
Awesome. Alright, let's check in on this mill here. Making a big mess with the coolant. I'm not used to using coolant on the vise where it's so high up, because then the spray pattern just comes right over the top of these things. So I'm going super slow, super shallow. See, I'm still down to 25 thou left. It's working great though. So that seems to have worked. Made a mess of my mats and floor and stuff, but that's okay. Looks like it worked. Alright, so the next step is to use, I've got a 3 insert toroid cutter here, button cutter, that's going to face it down 10 thou at a time. I'm kind of worried about this one because I feel like it's just going to break the glue and make it go flying, which will suck because it'll ruin all the hard work I just put into that, but I guess there's only one way to find out. just feel like these are going to pop off any second now. Doing a 10th thou depth of cut, 1100 RPM, and 15 inches per minute. Seems to be holding. Now it's on the Tormax Superfly. Yeah, that's a pretty good finish. Now it's got a corner rounder, just going to go in and clean up the edges. So these are looking pretty epic. Very awesome. Now the final intention for these is not to leave them smooth like that, but to put a dimpled surface in them. I think I'm going to throw in a picture of a Tom Crine Alpha knife that the customer of these inlays wants me to make them kind of look like the Tom Crine. So his, I'm sure, was done by hand. I'm trying to do it CNC. It'll probably be a totally different outcome, but we'll see what it looks like. You know, that pattern's been around for a long time. A lot of knife makers have been doing it, and I've always wanted to try it with CNC. So to do it, I'm using a 1/4 inch ball from Lakeshore Carbide, 4 flute coated, and I'm basically just going to dimple it with a drilling pattern. Totally random. In the CAD program, I just opened it up and I said put a hole here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and here, like 100 times over. And they all overlap, and they're all very tight and everything, and then in the simulation I could see what it's going to look like. And then if I go to the other screen here, this is what the code looks like. All the red lines are rapid moves between each hole, but all the blue lines are the drill pattern. So you can see how many holes there are. This is where the pivot goes. So yeah, it's very random. I just kept putting in holes until the pattern looked good in the simulation. I have no idea how long it's going to run for or anything, but we'll see. No time like the present. Go here. Let's do this way. Cycle start. Here we go. I think it's going a little fast. Luckily over here, I can mess with the feed rate. I can turn it down. So effective feed rate is 3.5 now instead of 5, even 3. It sounds better, I guess, but I don't know. Maybe too much RPM? I don't know. I'll play with it. Alright, one side done. Pretty cool. I thought it would have chipped and destroyed the end mill pretty quickly, but it's still in perfect condition. Doing some of the bigger ones tended to flop over into some of the smaller ones, so I might actually run the exact same code again, and it's just going to kiss every single hole again, and hopefully take off any burrs inside there. It took about 12 or 13 minutes to run this drilling code, which is a while, but whatever, you just run it. And then it put a pretty big burr on the outside perimeter and inside the hole and everything. So what I did is I just wrote up a code that's going to recut the holes in this one and then it's going to profile it again and corner round it again, and then it's going to dimple the holes twice in this one, and then profile it and corner round it, and it's going to do all that while I go inside for lunch right now. So that'll probably run for like 45 minutes or something, maybe more, and then I'll come back and it's all done. Alright, lunch is over and they seem to have worked just fine. Did have the front corner lift up on me, but it was no big deal. I can bend that down and sand it to fit or whatever. They look pretty epic. And I was very happy to see that I was able to pry it off quite nicely using this slip joint that my mother gave me, actually, which she told me it was her father's knife. Really skinny blade. I know, pretty cool, hey?
I need to sharpen that.
No, I kind of like it dull so that I can use it for normal stuff. It's huge, but I like it. It's got a nice thin blade so I can do stuff like this with it.
Isn't it like a folding fillet knife?
I don't know.
Fishing?
Probably. It's from Norway. Well, it says Germany, actually. It says Bonza, Solingen, Germany. Rostfrei. Frei. Anyway, see if I can pry this one off. I'll start on the skinny side. There we go. Yeah, so the super glue held really well. Nice. I got a nice even coat of this stuff. Super thin Insecure. Literally called super thin. So I just had a nice even coat, pressed the copper down, sanded the copper first so that it was pretty clean, and it held very well, and it pops right off, so I'm super happy with that. I'm going to clean them up and take a closer look. So these handles turned out to be sufficiently epic. Very happy with how they look. Yep, super stoked. They turned out, everything that I could have hoped for. The only tiny little minor mistake is up in this top corner. You can see it's missing a little chunk, because when it was doing some part of the machining, I'm not sure what, because I was eating lunch, this little corner tab actually lifted up and bent a little bit. So something grabbed that corner and caused it to break the glue under the corner, so it bent up there. So yeah, the only mistake is that there's a little gap there, which is unfortunate, but I don't think it'll require making a whole new set just because of that. I mean, maybe we could even hammer that little corner down so it stretches out into the hole, something like that. I don't know. But yeah, imagine these on a nice silver handle, or even on a dark bronze handle, so that the gold and the bronze contrast like crazy. Or a blue handle would look nuts.
Oh, blue would look amazing.
Yeah, blue would look crazy. So, yeah. I'm very happy with how these turned out. I still have to make the other side. But, love them. That was a fun project. They take a lot of time to make. It took me like over an hour just to code them. And so if I do make a lot more of them, I'm going to charge for them like crazy, because they just take a lot more time than, say, carbon fiber inlay or something like that. Well, I've got you here. I've got 2 knives finished. This one just needs a little engraving and then it's all done. But diamond pattern, bronze anodizing, orange peel backside, polished blade. Super happy with that one. This one I believe is green orange peel with an acid etched blade. And Eric's getting me... Whoa. Jeez. Butterfingers. I'll take this one. Ooh, little teaser. Check this one out. These are marbled carbon fiber inlays. This knife turned out epic. So yeah, the marbled carbon fiber is really cool. It's got a really neat pattern to it. Like, normally carbon fiber is a very linear pattern. Like so. The marbled is kind of like shredded. The only downside to that is there are a lot of voids and air pockets that you can clearly see. Nothing I can do about that except maybe fill them with super glue or something, but I chose not to because it kind of adds to the character. And I think I've tried that before, and the super glue makes it look a different color, like discolored. So it stands out kind of even more. But yeah. The owner of this, you know who you are, because I just emailed you. And I know you're really looking forward to it. But yeah, it was a really weird material to work with, and I don't think I'll be doing a lot more of it, because it splinters a lot. I don't know. It was weird. I like conventional carbon fiber more as far as working with it. And then here's another one. This is a two-tone bronze. Inside the honeycombs is a dark bronze, and then on the flats is a sanded lighter bronze. The edges also has a lighter bronze. It's so dark it's almost purpley. And then it's also got an acid etched blade. Alright guys, that'll do it for this week. Very happy with how that turned out. I'll make the other side, and then it's going to make such a wicked knife. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye. Alright, so just as I'm finishing up editing the video, Eric comes and brings this in to me. Whew. You can all pick up your jaws from the floor now. This thing turned out absolutely incredibly stellar. Could not be more pleased with it. Let me know what you think.